Hello LinkedIn, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to talk about um, how to be successful in landing many jobs or most jobs. So, number one, obviously, you have to have deep knowledge, meaning if you're saying you're a CCNA, make sure you know everything that's in the book. Make sure you complete all the labs. If you're saying you're a CCIE, make sure you are at that level. So, deep knowledge is key. What's also extremely beneficial is the quality of the projects you work on. Because on interviews, they're going to ask you technical questions, but they're also going to ask you what projects have you worked on. So the quality of the project is valuable. If you worked on projects that are exciting, that's probably even more important than the company you worked for. So the nature of the projects is far more important, in my opinion, than the company you worked for. So an example of a project, let's say, uh, and this is just it's an example. So someone can ask you, what projects have you worked on? And you can say, when I was at AT&T, and I haven't worked for AT&T, like I said, this is just an example. You can say, when I was at AT&T in the architecture team, we were approached by Goldman Sachs, and they had all sorts of issues on their network. We weren't a consulting company, we were a service provider, but we decided to take on the project. We looked into their issues, we looked into their network, and we identified their issues were stemming from two things. One, they had a support team overseas that wasn't giving them the support level they needed. Two, they were using ATM, a really old technology. We proposed a brand new design based on MPLS 2547, connecting all their 91 sites worldwide. Initially, there was a lot of resistance from the customer because the cost was so high. I went back to my office and I did a financial analysis based on a model called long-term running incremental cost. And we were able to calculate the cost of one bit of traffic on the existing design versus the new proposed design. Customers saw the numbers, it made a lot of financial sense to them. They gave us the go ahead. So we made platform recommendations, we selected the devices, designed the network, configured the network went live, and then we signed a support contract with them so our operations team can take over. Shortly after, I moved on to another company, and I heard, due to the success of this project, AT&T started a new division. They called it outsourced opportunities, targeting similar customers. This kind of project communicates many things. Communicates that you can talk to customers, you can understand customers' requirements, you can make the right recommendations for them, you can make platform recommendations and select the right equipment for the customer, for their traffic, for the nature of their traffic. You can justify the cost to the customer. You can configure devices. You can you configure devices. You successfully complete the config and make sure the network is live. You can further negotiate with the customer, and this is not an individual effort, but when you work in a team of 3 to 4 people and you're collectively doing that work, that's still your work. because you're involved in all phases of that project. So then you renegotiate with the customer so that your operations team will support them. And then the company starts a whole new division targeting similar customers, which means the project was successful. And then you say, it was a huge success for myself because I learned a lot, a huge success for AT&T, and a huge success for Goldman Sachs. These kind of that kind of project will get you many jobs because it communicates so many things in a span of a 10-minute phone conversation. It, it, it truly communicates to the hiring manager the scope of work you've been doing. And usually people base their decisions on what you've been working on more than what company or what job title you had. So working on projects that are exciting will set the stage for tremendous success in your career, in my opinion. So if your current company doesn't give you the opportunity to work in these kind of projects, look for another company. Shadow other engineers that are working in other companies. We can help you and give you exposure to these kind of projects because these are the kind of projects we work on. These are the kind of projects we are currently working on for some of our clients. So we may not be able to delegate so much to you initially, but we can partner with you, delegate some of the work, and give you that experience. So the projects you're working on, the quality of the projects you worked on is key. Thank you.